Alright, welcome back, you beautiful bastards, to Assassin's Creed Revelations. Can I use nope, I don't have any medicine. Great. My guards meters, yeah, of course, we know that. Just fall over for me, yes, thank you. What do you got? Oh, very convenient.
This used to be so easy.
Practice this tutorial. Why would I? You know, a gun probably is not good. We can do freaking throwing knives. Now I can use my eagle eye. And we can see their paths. That's new. Just wait for it. Wait for it. You're stupid. Rule number 1, you never frickin' you never go to a haystack. Can I do a dual assassination? What do you got? Huh? Oh, sulfur. That's also what I carry in my back pocket. Right next to the skunk oil and lamb's blood. Oh, speaking of lamb's blood. Oh. Yes. That is a ground. Yes. Why not have... I guess I only have one. Okay. Best guards in the world. Excuse me. Sorry. I'll just go this way. I cannot climb this wall. Great. Great, we love it. Excuse me, guys. Yeah. Hey, guys. You don't mind if I cough up blood in your face, right? That's right. Idiot. You stupid. What you have on? Huh? Huh? Oh, 17. Well, you just saw me loot a guy and walked away. My kind of guy. Hey, how you doing, gents? Oh, Arabic gunpowder. Now, is that better than the freaking the other gunpowder that I got? Also, I'm pretty sure I can't tell if I did this section, but I think this is the mission that I left off on when I played it on PS3. I got that this far in. So everything else I do not know anything about, other than, you know, you play as Altair and Ezio, and Desmond's mind is somewhere. That's really it. What the? Oh man! I just have to sit here and wait. Try freaking you're a guard and you see another guard stabbed. You're just not gonna report that? Oh. Sorry, I'll just go. I hope you don't mind. Oh, never mind. Like a sack of bricks.
And our just reward, leaving our security to Brutish louts.
Could it be that you are every bit as deadly as the legends say? Or am I in charge of an army of drunks swinging sticks?
Yes.
Right this
Both.
way, Ezio. Nowhere left to run now.
Not for me, and not for you.
Yeah, I didn't get to this cutscene.
Kill that dog. Cut him down.
This is all new, so. Oh my god. Well, first, you know, what do you got here, huh? Yes.
That dulls the pain.
Yeah, it dulls the pain, really. That's about it. Acrobatic abilities unlocked? Was it acrobatic or something? Didn't really read that in time. I'll just head this way. Huh? Oh. Excuse me. Hey, look at that, a haystack. Too bad. Uh-oh. Luckily I got the piss 4 shots. That one was a little better. And now they're... Okay, never mind. Oh. Well, now that is not very nice. That guy worked for you, you know. Oh.
What does it take to kill you, eh? Why will you not die?
Don't you ever stop howling.
Oh, yep, see, he's not the main bad guy.
Well, the old hound still has a bite.
The book you carry, where is it?
Niccolo Polo's journal. This will do you no good. Not now. We have found one of the Masyaf keys already.
Masyaf.
And are closing in on the rest.
What is in that library is not for you, not for the Templars.
You can have Altair's books, Ezio. We only want guidance. We only want directions.
Come on, say the line, Ezio. Come on, hit me with it. Come on.
Temple. Tell me more, now.
Come on.
Request.
Yeah.
Bastardo.
Bastardo, what? Hey, wait a minute, that's different. Rick Squieccia de Pace. Oh no, I guess it's fine. What do you have on you? Huh? Never mind. Oh, I got it off in time, so you know.
This apple. It is a remarkable piece of work. Feel the material, hard as steel, but very light.
You really want to be fooling with that thing?
I do. I absolutely do. I have been waiting a long time to get my hands on one of these.
Okay, you're making me nervous, Bill.
Don't be. I don't think I have the right genes to properly wield it.
Oh, but Desmond, you think he does?
Oh, we're back in business. Okay, great. Everyone's favorite? You know what that means. We can do more missions, huh?
You were snooping, wandering outside the Desmond partition. So once the Animus located you, it pulled you back here. It's just following orders. Like a fail-safe program. Trying to keep your poor head intact, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing here exactly?
Playing, learning, waiting. A lot of waiting. I keep the Animus distracted as best I can. For you, so you can explore. Otherwise it might hunt you down like a little virus and, delete you.
Well, my guardian angel.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, Thanks.
And we could do it again, you know. Come on, guys, you want to do it? Huh? Huh? No, of course. We'll go back in.
Dear sister, Masyaf is overrun by a battery of Templars, and their motive is clear. They desire the secrets locked away in Altair's library. Secrets they believe will lead them to something called the Grand Temple. Whether or not this is true, I do know the library is real. I have seen its door for myself. But none can enter, not without 5 keys which were sent to Constantinople with Niccolo Polo almost 300 years ago. Claudia, I must find these keys. The Templars have already located one, and I do not know how difficult it will be to find the others. Only time, skill, and a bit of luck will tell.
And that's the last mention of Claudia, probably. I doubt she will appear in this game. Oh my god. Golden horn. Constantinople, that's the place. Is this the place? I think this is the place. The main area that the game is set. That's what I mean.
A magnificent sight.
It is a work in progress.
No city in Europa has a skyline quite like this.
Well, to be precise, that is Europa. That is Asia.
Ah. Some borders even the Ottomans cannot move.
Very few. You are Italian by the sound of it, but your outfit is not. Have you been traveling long?
Sì, a molto tempo. I left Rome a 12 months ago, looking for inspiration. And that search brought me here. When I was a child, my father told me stories about the fall of Constantinople.
You must mean the conquest of
Constantinople.
Constantine. I suppose the moral of any story matches the temper of the man telling it.
That we can agree on.
Güzel. Constantine is a city for all kinds and creeds. Students like me
Creeds?
or
Oh, yes. What about
travelers
please?
such as yourself. I have so much work to return to. But it is good to be home.
Work? When I was your age, my interests were mainly salve.
Women.
Incredible. I am surprised you got anything done.
As was my mother.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, Bey Effendi. I hope you find something to hold your interest here.
I have faith I will.
I mean, there's plenty of women. Is that enough?
Yardım edebilir miyim efendim?
Grazie, dear boy.
She's also Italian.
A scholar and a gentleman. You are full of surprises.
Very few, my friend. Exik all mine.
Hoş geldin kardeşim. Unless the legend is a lie, you are the man I long to meet. Renowned master and mentor. Ezio Auditori de la.
What the hell?
Prego.
Forgive me. I have a hard time remembering that Italian gibberish.
Da Firenze. The city where I was born.
Ah, yes. So, by your custom, I would be Yusuf Kazim da Istanbul. I like that.
Istanbul. Yet another name for this city.
Evet, it's a local favorite. Come, Mentor da Firenze. I will show you around.
Oh, hey, well, now hold on a minute. Let's spend 16 minutes reading this. Oh my god, it might be 16 minutes. And I won't be able to say any of these names. Prince Suleiman? Soliman? Yeah? Everyone in the world knew this guy's name. In the 16th century? Okay, see, now that makes sense. Suleiman the Magnificent, they called him in the West, the 10th Sultan of Osman's ever-expanding empire. His fellow Turks were also generous with their praise, though far more practical, calling him Solomon Kanuni, or the lawgiver. The man responsible for improving the empire's bureaucratic engine, making it run like an well-oiled machine. No small feat for an empire as large as his. But I'm getting ahead of myself, ahead of our present concerns. When Ezio met Soliman, I'm gonna just say Soliman, okay? It might be Suleiman, well, I don't know. He was still a young man with only the faintest hope of ever becoming sultan. Since his father, Salim, was dead last in the Ottoman hierarchy, so as befitting a young man of his status and stature, Solomon threw himself into study with little thought of ever becoming Sultan himself. He was educated at the University of Istanbul and received private tutoring in Tapiki Palace. Little else is known about his early years except for that he was a kind and thoughtful man and that he had a servant named Ibrahim, who I was going to be like, oh, it's great, just throw that in. He had a servant whom he considered his best friend. Okay. By the time Solomon was 17, however, Bayezid had recognized his grandson's talent and intelligence and installed him as the governor of a large region north of the Black Sea. Over the next few years, Solomon would hold a number of similar positions until 1520, when an unexpected tragedy robbed his father of the Sultanate. Solomon, aged 26, took the throne, a position he would hold for almost 50 years. Back then, there a lot of the, people just kind of were killed or died young. So, 50, that he died, or, well, held the throne until he was freaking 76. That's pretty good, pretty good. Of course, it's pretty easy to live when you're wealthy. Anyway, no pacifist, Solomon would expand the Ottoman Empire's lands to its furthest points, and by the end of his rule, the lands under his command stretched from Algeria to the Persian Gulf, and from Austria down to Egypt. But for all his exponential desires, for all his expansionist desires, he was a tolerant man, too, and realized that the only way to keep an empire as large as his together was to honor the cultures, traditions, and religions of those living under his auspices? You gotta respect the culture. Hold on a minute, Dazim. Is that your name? I already forgot. Database. Recent entries. Oh, we have a lot. We have a lot. We have thieves. We all love thieves. Following the example of legitimate craftsmen, what am I saying? Like miners, stonecutters, masons, and hangmen, many thieves in the Ottoman Empire were members of organized guilds, most of which were well known to the police on account of the frequent bribes and tributes the thieves paid to keep the authorities off their backs. The thieves were also mindful to target foreigners as often as possible, so as to not upset locals, which proved quite easy in cosmopolitan Constantinople. It must also be noted that the line between crook and cop were very porous in those days, as many of the police chosen to keep watch on the thieves were themselves former members of the larcenous, friggin' classes. A Greek fire. Okay. For centuries, the Byzantine Empire used Greek fire during naval battles. This gave them a great technological advantage and was responsible for many key military victories, such as the salvation of Constantinople in 1203 from 2 Arab sieges. The incendiary weapons were used in the warfare for centuries before the invention of Greek fire. But what set the Byzantine Greek fire apart was its unique formula, which would contain burning even water, which would continue burning even underwater. God damn. I am sorry. And the use of pressurized siphons to project the liquid onto the enemy ships. Some consider Greek fire the predecessor of modern napalm. The ingredients, the processes of manufacturing, and the precise deployment of Greek fire were extremely well-guarded military secrets. Knowledge and fabrication of the substance were highly divided, with operators and technicians aware of the secrets of only one component, ensuring that no enemy could gain knowledge of it in its entirety. For instance, some Bulgarians captured 36 Greek fire siphons in the early 9th century, but were unable to make any use of them. Smart. Constantinople. Oh god, 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, oh god, 6 paragraphs, 7 paragraphs, oh, 8 paragraphs. What the hell, man? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna forget about all this stuff when I finish the game anyway, so that's great. Founded in 658 BCE on First Hill, Byzantium began life as a modest, well-walled-in city-state populated by Doric Greeks. Its founder was Abies, a soldier Roman. My God, a soldier rumored to have been the son of Poseidon and the nymph Carosia. A devout man, Abies had chosen the site of his new city based on a promising prophecy uttered by the oracle of Apollo at Delphi. From its earliest days, Byzantium was an isolated colony, a so-called island of Hellenic civilizations in a sea of barbarian tribes. Although its popular reputation as a ruckus port town full of drunk merchants and sots, typically outshined its credentials as a locus of culture. As the playwright Menander wrote in his now lost play, The Flute Girl, Byzantium makes all of her merchant drunkards. The whole night through we were drinking, and methinks 'twas very strong wine too. At any rate, I awoke with a head for 4. My God, I'm so freaking sorry. In later centuries, as Greek civilizations dwindled and receded, Byzantium's inhabitants diversified, and its rulers came and went in a rotating lineup of hopeful shepherds. Spartans, Macedonians, Athenians, and Romans all took their turns lording over the city on First Hill. Then, in 324 CE, the Roman Emperor Constantine, inspired by a vision from God, he claimed, moved the capital of the Roman Empire to Byzantium, and once settled, set about rebuilding it to his strict specifications, adding grandeur and panachy, befitting a Roman emperor. With construction When construction was finished in 330 CE, he had the city rechristened Nova Roma Constantinopolia. Nopolitania? New Rome, city of Constantine. Native-born city dwellers continue to call the city Byzantium for many generations, but gradually its colloquial name, Constantinopolis, caught on, and as did New Rome, since the men who ruled the city still thought of themselves as Romans living in the Eastern Roman Empire. The moniker Byzantine Empire is a more contemporary term that gained popularity sometime after the Ottoman conquest of the city. We're at 31 minutes. Great. For over 800 years, Constantinople served as the capital of transformed Roman Empire, keeping alive a commonwealth that had all been withered in the West under the weight of barbarian attacks and economic hardships. Throughout the Middle Ages, Constantinople burned brightly compared to the darkness that engulfed the rest of Europe, though it too suffered its share of turmoil. In 1204, the city was captured by a Latin army shortly after Pope Innocent III blessed the Vatican's fourth and final Christian crusade. But the Latins' brief tenure led to influx of Venetian and Genoese merchants who took up residence on the south and north side of the Golden Horn, respectively. In 1261, Michael Palaeologos, Greek heir to the Byzantine throne, marched on Constantinople and won a decisive victory, but the city he had recaptured was faltering, and the empire he now controlled possessed a mere fraction of its former land and influence. Thus began the 200-year decline of a once great city. And though Constantinople continued to flourish as a cultural center, thanks in large part to a healthy system of arts patronized from wealthy residents, of the city's population rapidly dwindled. By 1397, it was clear that the city's days as the Byzantine capital were numbered. To the north, east, and south, the Ottoman Empire was expanding and gaining strength, squeezing the city like a ripe grape. The Byzantine emperors of this era pleaded with leaders in the Western Europe for aid, but ongoing wars and the complicated feelings held by the Catholic West concerning their Orthodox cousins led only to a series of half-hearted gestures and weak alliances. At long last, in 1453, the invasion so many Byzantinians had feared for nearly a century came to pass. Led by Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror, as he was later known, a massive Ottoman army marched to the walls of Constantinople and laid siege. From that day forward, the Ottoman Turks ruled the city, and they made it their first priority to restore the city to its former glory. Everyone is just trying to restore it to its former glory and whatnot, you know. With the sultans adopting a tolerant position with respect to religion, the city became more attractive to all kinds and creeds, and over the next 100 years its population increased tenfold, from 40,000 to 400,000. Constantinople, now called Istanbul by a large number of its residents, was back on the map and destined for greatness once again. Let's freaking read this, a word that I also can't say. Cappacadia. What the? A rocky region in Anatolia. Now the Nivishir province of central Turkey is an area best known for its sparse and rugged terrain and stunning rock formations. Because of this large, unique geography, Cappadocia has often existed apart from the empires that grew and flourished outside its borders. Alexander the Great, for instance, was unable to subdue the region fully during his lengthy military campaigns, and was forced to settle for an anomaly autonomous kingdom led by its own king, whatever, existing inside the borders of his own empire. Arid and open compared to Constantinople's lush density, Carmelian is best known to outsiders for its 200 underground cities and villages, a few of which once housed and sheltered populations of over 10,000 people between the years 600 and 1400 BCE. Literally carved into the soft rock prevalent throughout the region, these cities were fully functioning colonies comprised of hundreds of narrow tunnels and caverns connecting dozens upon dozens of rooms, including living quarters, chapels, granaries, kitchens, wine and oil presses, ventilation shafts, and stables. The largest of these cities, whatever that is, was built to a depth of 85 meters and consisted of 11 interlocking levels with more than 50 ventilation shafts. Beginning in the 13th century, when the Byzantine Empire was crumbling and the emperors could no longer protect their subjects living on the ever-shrinking borders of their kingdom, wayward Christians took to living in the hidden cities for extended periods to stay hidden from encroaching Muslim populations. Well, even back then, Christians didn't like Muslims. Anyway, it is unclear when these cities were eventually abandoned, but it is likely the small populations occupied them in some capacity up until very recently, when the majority of the cities still intact were turned into tourist attractions. Great! Can't forget Massive, frickin' hell, hidden away in the Ornitz Valley. In what is now Syria, Massive was the headquarters of the Assassin Brotherhood in the Levant. Its proximity to Jerusalem, Acre, and Damascus made it the natural center of assassin influence in the region. I just get so easily tongue-tied, especially with these frickin' names, man. Come on. By the Third Crusade, Massive had become the political culture and Massive had become the political, cultural, and geographical center of the assassins. A training ground, an impenetrable fortress, a sanctuary, a vast library, and a base of operations for the Brotherhood, Massive was all of these things, yet the public's perception of the Citadel was far less complete, for in those days the Citadel and its inhabitants were able... I don't know what I'm reading anymore. I get so goddamn tongue-tied for some reason. The Citadel and its inhabitants were kept isolated from the larger populace. Life within the walls of Massive was Spartan and strict, consisting of many regiment rituals and challenges. And it was an exclusive group. Assassins, mostly men, were born into the order, not recruited, and trained from an early age to obey their mentor and adhere to the creed. In 1191, the Crusader commander Robert de Sable laid siege to the city and the castle. The assassins withstood this assault, but briefly succumbed to another enemy later that same year, when Grand Master Al betrayed the Brotherhood and briefly seized control of Massive using the powerful Apple of Eden artifact. His defeat at the hands of Altair marked a turning point in assassin ideology. Frickin' Al over here, that's the main bad guy in the first game, I would imagine. The one wearing like black and had a gray beard or whatnot, you know. I need to dig a drink after this, my god. In later years, the assassins gradually abandoned many of the unnecessary rituals enforced by Al. Over time, Altair, now a mentor himself, attempted to transform Massive into a place of learning and healing, opening the Citadel's doors to recruits from around the world. And for a time, he succeeded exceptionally well. What am I reading? Subject 16. How long is this one? Probably so goddamn long, it's gonna take us... Oh, never mind. Okay. Hello. I'm Clay. And I'm a number. Subject 16. Yes, we're all reducible in the end. Right? 17? Just numbers. Ones and zeros. I proved that. The day before I offed myself, I created this little artificially intelligent construct talking to you now using the Animus and its incredible simulation capabilities. I copied myself, snapped the copy into 24 pieces and scattered them around these data banks. You found them and pieced me back together. Not bad, eh? Teamwork. That's the freaking guy I met. He's the freaking glowing dude at the end of Brotherhood that I did, I'm guessing. Word on the street, of course, is that Clay, the real Clay, the assassin, Lucy's teammate, he isn't alive anymore. He slit his wrists, if I heard right. Damn shame I never got to see that for myself, but I can imagine my head was, pardon me, his head, was swimming with images of his last moments for weeks, like he was rehearsing it, planning just how he'd do it. I hear he even got around to finger painting on walls of his cell before checking out. Is that right? Mad bastard, I miss him, I really do. Sorry, this is getting confusing. The real Clay is gone, and I have taken his place. Good enough? Right. Good enough is still to call me cousin, right, Desmond? Very distant cousins, you and me, because somewhere back along our extensive family chain, we both have Ezio to thank for the gift of life. Both of us are related to him, and both of us had nice little jaunts through his memories, although I had access to far fewer memories than you did. Figure that one out. I guess that's why you're so special. You're the convergence of several amazing bloodlines. But me? No. I was just a promising lead, a stepping stone to get to you. Oh well, I played my part. What more can I say? Very little, it turns out. Read that one. And now we get to read Golden Horn. The Golden Horn, or Halleck, meaning waterway, is an estuary flowing into the Bosphorus strait that bisects Constantinople into its northern and southern halves because its breadth and depth. What the hell? The Golden Horn has served as a natural harbor since the days of the ancient Byzantium. In 1902, after the cessation of violence between Ottomans and Bithynians, Sultan Bayezid II invited the famous Florentine Leonardo da Vinci to submit a design for a bridge that would span a 250-meter wide section of the Golden Horn. Upon seeing Leonardo's design, however, the Sultan felt the project was too ambitious and scrapped the idea. 4 years later, Bayezid extended the same invitation to a young artist named Michelangelo, but Michelangelo, being an avowed rival to Da Vinci's, refused the Sultan's invitation outright, evidently insisted that Leonardo had been asked first. Oh my god, we're done. We're freaking done. Oh my god, guys, we're done. It just took, oh hell, more, Yusuf. Abstergo has some data on this guy, gathered a few years back, but there's not a lot about him in standard history books, which I'm sure he'd be happy to know. Yusuf Tazim was a Turk born in Bursa around 1467, but was raised in Constantinople. From the age of 8 by his mother... Oh, right, okay. His father was an assassin, and presumably that's how Yusuf became one, too. But there's no mention of what happened to Papa Tazim. Was he killed? Did he desert the family? Your guess is as good as mine. By the time he was 17, Yusuf was well known around the city as a rabble-rouser and a petty thief. But a chance meeting with the legendary Vizier Ishka Pasha, and that name changed all that. Ishka was an assassin too, operating in the Sublime Port, right under Bayezid II's nose. Goddamn, I might not just read frickin' these entries because I can't figure out these names. Italian was one thing, but my god. It was Isha, we'll just call it Isha. Or Isha. I don't know. Isha, who had defeated Vlad Tipes, later brokered the tentative truce between Ottomans and Assassins. By the late 1480s, he was busy recruiting, it's a he, okay, open-minded citizens of the empire to his order's cause. Yusuf was taken with Isha's charisma and an easy manner of leading, and so joined the assassin just before his 20th birthday. From here, Yusuf's rise was swift and assured. By the 1500 CE, he had made quite a name for himself. In 1502, Yusuf met with a contingent of Bithynian assassins in Greece in a joint effort to steer the Ottoman-Bithynian War to a peaceful end. These efforts appeared to have paid off, for in 1503 the fighting stopped, ushering in a brief era of peace on the Ottoman Empire's western border. Perhaps made complacent by the assassin's successes in keeping the peace, Sultan Bayezid II grew soft in his final decade, preferring his mystical text and alchemical experiments for governing. This suited the assassins just fine for a dull peace was preferable to endless war and imperial expansion, but following the earthquake in 1509, a new threat conquered. I saw Constantinople and it was conquered. A new threat appeared in Constantinople, Templars fighting under the old Byzantine crest, stirring from years of relative claim. I need to take a break after this. Stirring from years of relative calm, Yusuf once again roused his assassins to begin the long and difficult fight ahead. My God. Are we done? You cannot interact with shops at this moment. Well, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Father cannot cope
Let me just look at the flowers and shoot myself in the head because, my God, I'm sorry. It's easy for me to speak, kind of, when I can speak my own thoughts, but my God, reading names of things that I don't know how to pronounce, and all that history, it wears on my smooth, porous brain. Anywho, I'm sorry. I guarantee next episode, that will be progress, maybe. But until then, I hope you found some modicum of enjoyment from this episode, you beautiful bastards, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.